If you click and hold the bike for maybe a 1 count. All right, one more time.
Ocean County traffic, Cherokee is about a 7 mile.
We might need to be a little bit closer.
Ocean County traffic, Cessna 93 kilo, 7 miles east of the field. Coming in to join a 45 for left 06, Ocean County.
This thing is set up so it doesn't start transmitting every time somebody in New Jersey clicks on 1227. Try it one more time.
Ocean County traffic, Cessna 93 kilo is 7 miles to the east inbound at 3,500.
Usually get it by here, no problem. Maybe Hamilton traffic, Skyhawk 62862 inbound 45 runway 3.
That was runway 5.
No, it's through here. I don't know why that ATIS AWAS didn't come on there. That's interesting.
No, I didn't check the NOTAMs. It could be down, you know.
Yeah, I think I was just here yesterday and it was working great, but it could certainly be down. Okay.
Mount Pocono, the Aztec is turning base to final, runway 5,
still showing runway 3 as the favored runway. Do you know where the windsock is here?
No.
So this side of the runway, in the middle, there's a house and it's surrounded by trees. Out past that tree line that is on this side of the runway, about 2/3 of the way down, I can actually see it from here. There's an orange windsock in the grass on our side of the runway. So it does look like it's blowing down the runway pretty good. You can have a better look. There's 1,000 feet, so let's level off in our pattern altitude. And let's make a turn to downwind. Hamilton traffic, Skyhawk 62862, left downwind, runway 3, Hamilton. Okay, let's watch our descent rate here. Back up near 1,000 feet if we can. So that windsock is blowing right down the runway.
Ocean County traffic, 5.7 south.
Let's get back up because you're going to have a problem. This is just the wind. You have a tailwind right now, so we're still descending really fast.
Traffic, Cherokee, 3 mile final, runway 6 on a practice approach, low approach only.
So when you turn, you're going to have a wind pushing you that way, and when you go on final, it's going to be even worse. So let's go ahead and let's get the nose up and the power set, and we got to slow down. It's going to be a little difficult because of the tailwind. There we go. Now, we're pretty far out, and you're going to notice I'm just going to turn this for you because of that wind, you're going to have a steeper turn here, right? Our rate of turn has to increase. Okay, I'm going to give this plane back to you. We might need some more power because we got blown pretty far out here. I can't see the runway. There it is. I'm going to put your second notch of flaps in, and it's your plane.
Cherokee, so it's this 2 mile final, runway 6, Ocean County.
There you go. Don't turn all the way yet. Let's use the final to our advantage.
Okay.
Let's use the base part of this. And now you can see the windsock. Let's turn final, and we'll get the last notch. Actually, let's not use the last notch as you had suggested. Your nose has to go down a little, and your power setting looks pretty good right there. Got it. So we got carb heat, flaps at 20.
Ocean County, you got Skyland, turn left downwind from runway 32. Look for that approach traffic.
We got a little bit of wind from our right.
Break off, and I see you on the downwind.
We got you in sight. We're going to be going to crosswind landing on.
One thing you can do is put in some left rudder and right aileron, and we'll do the wing low method as opposed to the crab method.
Still not on the glide slope, though, right?
That's okay. We're still landing, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, Ocean County.
So we're going to land a little bit long, so we're above the glide slope, so we'll just land a little long and use the... Let's take some power out. And let's land on like the 5th or 6th dash. Let's just get the nose up just there. Just a tad. That's okay. I'm going to stay on this with you. Let me grab this throttle real quick. We're going to add a touch of power here. And we're going to try and put this thing down nice and easy here. Remember we saw that guy landing, whatever it was, the Archer over there, and he just couldn't get it on the runway. Well, we actually were floating a little bit too. Flaps up, carb heat off. I'm going to give you the controls. So while we're here, this is a really good chance to practice and the crab method, so we can talk about that when we're taxiing back up. We have a minute here. Your plane?
Back controls.
Nice and slow. So flaps up, carb heats off, and you can check the trim wheels when you get stabilized here. Yeah, so that tailwind was partially destroying your lift, and that's why you were descending faster than you were expecting. You were looking out the window. You may not even know it. Your brain is looking out the window and seeing how fast we're going.
Yeah.
But in reality, it was all tailwind, and it was actually destroying some of the lift that you were expecting, I think.
I just wasn't coordinated on that one at all.
That's all right.
All right.
It's just another example of getting all ready, like early.
I'm back. That was fighting me a little. Heading indicator. Thunder, good.
We're going to land on runway 3 again, and what do you want to do first, the wing low or the crab method? Doesn't matter.
For the final?
Yeah, when we turn final, we have two options. We can do the wing low. So
I was trying to crab it myself.
Okay, so let's do the crab one first. So in the crab method, we just let the wind, the wind is actually pushing on the vertical portion of the rudder, right?
Yeah.
And that's pushing the nose in the opposite direction. So when that happens, it's just weather vaning into the wind. So one of the methods to land is to let the nose weather vane into the wind, and you have a lot of that wind actually helps you stay aloft. You don't have a lot of drag. The wind is actually creating some lift, so you let the wind use the wind to your advantage by weather vaning into the wind. But we eventually have to get the plane, the nose and tail, line back up at the runway and land on the center line. So we let it weather vane into the wind, and when we get down to the runway threshold, we have to kick it around with the rudder and get the upwind wheel down so we can land on that wheel. The other method is to put one wing low, the upwind wing low into the wind, put the rudder in very early. It's going to create more drag, but it lets you get stabilized on the approach a lot sooner, and you're going to need to add a little more power to overcome the drag. We'll do the crab method first, and then we'll do the wing low method. We can do a couple of them while we're down here. And we're coming up on like 57 minutes, so I don't want to keep you down here too long and run up a big tab, because I think this is a better place to have come. You don't have the insane vortices in the trees here. So let's just do it real quick before takeoff checklist. I saw that you already checked the trim settings, so we should be good to go with a
before takeoff. Flaps, mixture's rich, carb heat is off, lights are all on, trim is good, fuel valves on both, heading indicator, let's check that. That's should be on 30. Transponders at 1200, squawking altitude, time, and 5 and 76 are going to be our speed.
All set. Hammond traffic, Skyhawk 62862 departing 38, close traffic. Okay, so this will be interesting. I don't see anybody in the vicinity of the airport.
Can't get past me.
So, a lot wider runway here, right?
Yeah.
Very nice runway. Still about the same length, though. A lot wider, and also not as much going on either side, but there are a lot of lights and other obstructions. Okay, wind looks like it's right down the runway, and it's pretty strong wind, so you're going to climb pretty quickly. And you get off the ground pretty quickly. Look at that.
Yeah.
You got it, dude. Come on. Just fly it. Just really minor corrections. Unless it does something really bizarre, but this looks pretty good. I have, like, no concern about you flying this plane right now, alright? I have my hands on the yoke.
We're just doing what? Standard pattern here, right?
Yeah, we'll do a standard pattern. Let's do the 2 notches of flaps again, because I think that was very adequate for these conditions with that headwind. I think 3 notches or 30 degrees of flaps was just going to make a lot of floating likely. And we don't need to slow down that much because we have a huge headwind helping us. Our ground speed's going to be pretty slow to begin with. There you go. So here comes the tailwind component of this pattern. It's somewhere between 13 and 20 knots of tailwind here. Let's go ahead and turn because we're really wide right now. So as soon as you roll out of this, just look at where the runway is. You don't have to make any. You don't have to make any. You have to make any giant correction here. This is.
Archer 82720 is turning left base.
It's just going to mean you have a big, longer base, so we'll descend a little bit slower if we can. Maybe we'll turn a little. I don't want you to turn too early though, because that's going to ruin that.
I'm ready for flaps.
Grab. Yeah, you can go with flaps. Let's not put the second notch in until we're well established on our base leg though, because we're pretty wide.